Now listen up, I don't really like anime that much. It may sound weird, but it's the truth. I know I'm a guy who has a channel that pretty much revolves around anime entirely, manga for the most part, but anime at times, and I don't like anime that much. Certain anime are really cool. I love Attack on Titan's anime. I love Code Geass anime, but some animes, you know, they kind of suck, and I'd much rather read the manga. But you best believe that when Chainsaw Man is going to come out with a new anime, brand new anime adaptation from Mappa Studios, I'm going to be on that anime like flies on shit. So yes, I am watching the Chainsaw Man anime. I've only read the manga about 6 months ago. I made a couple of videos on it. I made another video on the manga part 2, which I'm not caught up on. Yeah, I gotta get caught up on Chainsaw Man's manga part 2. Regardless, I do think Chainsaw Man is a pretty cool series, and if you want to know my more in-depth thoughts, make sure you watch the 2 videos that I made on it previously. They pretty much sum up my thoughts on the series. Now, going into the anime of Chainsaw Man, the biggest thing I was looking forward to was seeing how Mappa was going to adapt this chaotic and at times brilliant manga. I wanted to see how this story was going to be brought to life by an animation studio that is very well known for its clean imagery. And yet again, Mappa's animation makes Chainsaw Man an anime of the year contender. Yes, Chainsaw Man has a great story, great characters, but without a doubt, it's the animation that in my opinion carries it to being called something like the anime of the year, especially considering that the story gets much better in the latter half. It's obviously common knowledge that Mappa's animation is some of the cleanest out there. It's why they've gained so much popularity in the last few years, and obviously this Chainsaw Man anime is no exception, as I mentioned. The animation is extremely clean, it flows very nicely. They use 2D a lot more than they use 3D. They did use 3D a little bit in the first episode, and I think the second episode for Denji's transformation, but it did not look bad to me at all, and I think it actually fit a little bit. Despite what some people may say about 3D animation, I think Mappa is doing very well with both the 3D and the 2D animation. The cool thing is some of the regular ass fights in the story that pretty much have nothing to do with anything are animated so well. It's this random fight with Denji and the Bat Devil, and Denji versus the Leech Devil, and the animation just pops off. The music pops off, everything is going crazy, and it's so hype just seeing that on your screen, even though the scene literally means nothing. That's how you know you're doing something right in terms of animation and imagery. So I've complimented Mappa a lot, but I just want to throw one thing out there that's kind of been on my heart, you know, for a little bit. Ever since Chainsaw Man's animes come out, ever since I saw Jujutsu Kaisen's anime, I've said, yeah, you know what, Mappa has some really damn good animation. But then I watched Attack on Titan's anime, and you know, it was really good animation as well. But compared to Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan's anime might as well have been filmed on a shoe. You heard me right. I think Mappa definitely slacked with Attack on Titan's anime compared to Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a relative thing. The animation of Attack on Titan was great, but in comparison to these two, it absolutely pales. It is nothing compared to these two. Sadly, I love Attack on Titan far more than Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. So yes, it does hurt to see that, but I won't complain because we could have gotten a Berserk 2016 all over again. I think I'm just complaining a little bit too much. I'm just not that happy that one of the best stories I've ever read gets less animation than something like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I just raised the dislike ratio of this video way more than it needs to be, but hey, it is what it is. Now the music for Chainsaw Man is a little bit different than what I'm used to for certain anime. It's very hype. It has a metal and rock sort of feel to it. It's really nice, because that's the kind of music I enjoy personally. So seeing it in some of the fight scenes just elevates the hype level extremely high. It's very fun to see these fights, and tying in the fascinating animation with the great music, you get Chainsaw Man as one of the most hyped anime of the season. Now speaking of music, that opening, man, when that beat drops in that opening, it's like the best part of the episode for me sometimes. It is so good. The opening is absolutely phenomenal. It's, again, another anime opening that's made it into my gym playlist. It is so hype. Sometimes I look forward to seeing the opening more than the actual anime itself. Now, Chainsaw Man was already vastly popular with its manga, and as I've mentioned in my other videos on the series, I'm pretty certain that this popularity was mainly gained due to the goofy and irregular theme and storytelling of Chainsaw Man, especially in some of the characters. I think I titled the video Chainsaw Man is weirdly good, and that may honestly be the best way to summarize Chainsaw Man's story. It's weirdly good. It's extremely off-putting at times. Certain things that happen just do not make sense. They're very weird, but it's also really good. You know what I mean? Denji, the protagonist, while being a very goofy character, is actually pretty relatable to certain shonen viewers in comparison to the other shonen characters who always have the one goal that they want to achieve. Denji is more relatable to most people, and I think that's what makes him such an appealing character to the general audience of Chainsaw Man. I've had my criticisms for Denji's character, but my eyes have opened up a little bit more, and I can really see why he's such a good and relatable main character, especially for people, certain people in the Chainsaw Man fanbase. Chainsaw Man's uniqueness is what made it initially stand out as the manga, but when it came to the climax of the end of the manga, well, part 1 of the manga, I think that's when the story and narrative actually ended up becoming really, really good. Before, it was sort of a mid-tier story in my personal opinion. I think the animation again elevates that mid portion of the story much more in the anime than in the manga. But for me, the manga was very slow up until around 70 chapters in. Then it got good. Then it got really good. So I think that's what really got the initial hype and respect for the series going. Combined with the very weird and original narrative, you get something like Chainsaw Man. And then the anime came along to adapt an already extremely popular manga, and you know what happens next. The thing is, with other series, their manga isn't that popular when the anime comes out, but the anime makes it super popular. No one was talking about Tokyo Revengers and Demon Slayer before their anime came out, but when the anime came out, it went crazy. People were talking about Chainsaw Man before the anime even came out, and now the anime is out. Safe to say, I think it's winning anime of the year. I think I'm fine with that. Personally, I choose AOT because that's my bias, but I'm fine with Chainsaw Man as well. My personal favorite character in Chainsaw Man is Makima. Now hold on. Please. It's not for the reasons that you think. It's because she's an extremely manipulative character. I'm not going to go any further into that because there's some anime onlys watching, but there's more to Makima than what Denji thinks there is. Anyways, moral of this video is that Chainsaw Man's anime is great so far in its first 4 episodes, and I know it's only going to get better because of Mappa and because the story is sort of like a linear progression. It just continues to get better and better. Eventually, Chainsaw Man's anime is going to get wilder. Nice.